The Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Conrad K. Sangma, has today made a statement that the state has to prepare itself to live in a world known as Corona Age, where life as we know it will be under restrictions, conditions, rules and regulations, while vaccination to prevent and contain the dreadful virus is yet to be discovered. Until then, society as a whole has to live accordingly with the guidelines of social distancing and quarantining. The statement was made on a query asked on how prepared the government after the 21 days lockdown that will conclude on 14th of April 2020. The Chief Minister further informed that the world is effortlessly working to tackle the pandemic and the state government has the objective and aim to establish functional and operational COVID-19 centers. Subsequently, it is transparent that the hurdles faced by the people on a daily basis. However, this is a fight for humanity to eradicate and obliterate the virus. Stand together, stand united, stay home, stay safe, and help save humanity.
We understand that it's not that coming April 14th and the situation is gone or the virus will not be there. So therefore, I think every state and the country, and I think every country in the world is preparing itself for any kind of situations that may come even in the future. So therefore, yes, absolutely right. We are exploring those necessities. We're exploring them and we're seeing where, and how we can move forward in this. But since this situation required immediate action and immediate movement, therefore, as a temporary arrangement, we have requisitioned, different locations and buildings to immediately set this up, which we feel should be enough for the time being. But of course, these kind of situations are very, very unpredictable. But we will keep on increasing the numbers as we go along. But yes, in the long run, we are exploring that. But right now, I cannot comment on any specific decision being made. But I think in the long run, not just our state, but I think every state in the country will have to look into that option. Let me be very clear also in this. We have to see again, of course, as Government of India, what the Government of India will decide. But I think let us not fool ourselves by expecting that post 14th of April that this virus will disappear. Of course, it will not disappear. The idea of the lockdown was simply to ensure that the wave of the transmission that could take place if the lockdown did not take place, the idea was only to break the transmission chain in that phase, so that it does not become a full-blown case like many countries are facing. So that is the objective of this lockdown, is to break the transmission chain. And I think to a large extent by doing this lockdown, and if people are acting responsibly, which we are requesting everybody to, I'm sure we'll be able to break the transmission chain to a large extent. Having said that, post 14th of April, things will have to still continue in a way where we need to be careful. We may not have the kind of economic lockdown as we're having right now. This extent of it is really something that we'll have to wait and see. I think Government of India, I'm sure Honorable Prime Minister will discuss with the different states and with his cabinet, and the government will decide. But I'm sure that at the end of the day, the economy has to move on. Life has to move on. But then I think there may be certain restrictions that might be put in place. There may be certain activities that might be reduced to a large extent. And we'll have to see as time comes and the numbers come out as to what strategy would be adopted. But having said that, I'm sure, it's almost like till we don't find a vaccine or a medication to this, we will be in a kind of a corona age, and I think we need to learn to live with it with precautions. We need to learn to live with it with our social distancing and our personal hygiene practices. And government needs to be prepared with a rapid action system where we immediately respond to any situations that may come up in the future also. So therefore, friends, yes, you're right. It's not easy to assess what's going to happen. But I think it will not be the same as it used to be before the coronavirus came in. So I think the governments and the society all will have to adapt to it, and accordingly we have to move forward. Economic policies will have to be changed. We'll have to plan out and think on how we're going to move forward. Health infrastructures need to be stronger, the response system and the SOPs for different departments on how to respond to immediate outbreak if it does happen in the future. Those kind of systems will have to come in, command control centers will have to be set up, different isolation wards need to be set up in different districts. So many things will have to happen, but maybe it's not the right time to talk about it, but let's just giving you an idea that we've already started planning on these kind of things, and I think every state government will start doing these things. Let me be very, very frank. I don't think any state or any country today has enough equipment or enough medicine. The question is now how much can we get, and and ensure that they're distributed properly towards to the grassroots level, and also ensure that they're judiciously used. That's very, very important also. So to answer your question very bluntly is that it is never going to be enough. As I said, even countries like US today are facing shortage. Even China at one point faced shortage. The country as a whole is facing shortage. So therefore, the only thing we can ensure and we can do is to judiciously use these equipments and medicines that we have, and ensure that we're able to send them across to the district. But I can tell you, bare minimum requirements that are there. I should say sufficient requirements are there right now. I shouldn't say bare minimum. Sufficient numbers are there, keeping in mind the current situation that the state is facing. But in a situation where we don't know how many numbers will come, of course, any kind of preparation is not enough for a full-blown case of coronavirus spreading everywhere for any state or any country. But I think in the current circumstances, we have done our best. And we are continuously procuring more equipments, and especially the personal protection equipments that are required for the doctors. We are continuously in the process of getting. There's a shortage throughout the world, but we are making our efforts from every angle to ensure that more and more of this supplies come. Having said that, friends, also the situation that we face, as I was mentioning earlier, is unprecedented. Therefore, I know there are many challenges. The different officials have been trying to do many things in many ways to fight the situation that we are facing, and there cannot be any right way of doing it, and there cannot be a fixed solution to this. It's a very dynamic situation, a situation we have not faced. So I do urge our people and our society and all our citizens that sometimes we do need to be slightly a bit patient also with this situation. I know it's very, very difficult, but we need to give the space to our officials to really deliver, and it's not easy for them. We're learning as we're going along, we are improving as we're going along, and if there are any mistakes that need to be rectified, we are rectifying those mistakes also. At the same time, I would once again urge the citizens of the state that please follow the rules and norms that are being given by the district administration and by the government in general. These are being done for your safety, and therefore only if the society and the citizens come together and we are disciplined and responsible in our ways, only then can we overcome the situation. Therefore, all citizens, all our civil society, our traditional organizations and the headmen's, be the Rambashnongs, the Nokmas, be the religious leaders, I urge all of you to play an active role in ensuring that we are able to overcome the situation by ensuring that we are with the people and we make them realize the importance of being responsible.